It's the first day of full pads at Bengals training camp. So how's Joe Burrow handling that? Sports director Joe D is live at the practice fields for us. Joe, what's up?
Okay, yeah, Tricia, we are here on the practice fields at Paycor Stadium, way behind me in the distance. You can see the Bengals are still practicing right now. You mentioned it, first day of full pads, so the entire team is in one section watching 11 on 11. It looks like real football, except they're not really tackling. Zach Taylor doesn't want guys to tackle. He calls it thudding. You know, you go up and you kind of hit shoulder pads, and that's considered a tackle here at training camp. But everybody wants to know about Joe Burrow. We talked to Zach Taylor earlier today. He said no update on Joe Burrow's status. He did say he's doing everything he would be doing here at training camp besides coming out to the practice field and practicing. He's doing all the team meetings. He's watching all the film, but there's no real update on a timeline or how Joe's doing today from Zach Taylor. Now the video, and it's not the video you want to see if you're a Bengals fan. It's another Bengal out here at the training camp practices injured. This is Travion Williams. He's one of the Bengals' backup running backs to Joe Mixon. A real chance for Travion this training camp to carve out a role with Samaje Perine out of town, now playing in Denver. I know a lot of Bengals fans like Samaje Perine. Travion Williams had a chance here to make a role, but he left today with an injury. We'll see what that is. Tyler Boyd, you saw the great catch he made. He made a great play. Rookie Charlie Jones, the wide receiver, he made a great play too. So there are still some plays happening out here at training camp. But I asked Zach Taylor today why we aren't seeing Joe Burrow out here. We saw him last year during his appendectomy recovery. He was out here on the practice field watching practice. We haven't seen him this year. I asked Zach Taylor if that could be a benefit for Joe Burrow to be out here.
Maybe if he was a rookie, you know, in his first year and was seeing it all for the first time, maybe. We watched the tape so much, he's up there watching every rep. So whether he was out there on the field watching it live, the only thing he can't do is hear the communication, but he's always the one who's done the communication 100 more times than our other quarterbacks have. So he's a part of all those conversations.
So we did ask Zach Taylor as a follow-up to that, what is Joe Burrow during the time when the guys are out here practicing and he's not out here with the guys? That's when Zach Taylor said he does his rehab work. He does all of his weight work because it's wide open inside with all the other guys out here on the practice field. So that's what Joe Burrow is doing during this time right now. All of his rehab work, all of his weight training work, Tricia. So that's why we're not seeing him out there, although I know all the fans here would love to see him out here. He is doing important stuff during this time right now here at training camp. Back to you.
Joe, how many times have they even talked about what the injury is? I mean, have they been forthright about even what it is, what the status is at all? Or are we all just kind of like just in a holding pattern?
Yeah, we're in a holding pattern because the injury status hasn't changed with Joe Burrow. It is a right calf strain. Zach Taylor continues to say that's all it is, and that the several weeks timeline will remain until Joe Burrow is ready to come out here on the practice field. So to answer the question, yes, right calf strain is still the diagnosis. Still several weeks is the timeline, and that does give Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow a little wiggle room. Whether he comes back a little earlier, a little later, it just depends on how well he recovers inside doing rehab at the stadium.
I don't know. That's tough. I mean, I understand what they're saying about watching tape. He's watching every rep, but it's still not the same as being on that field. I mean, you can't tell me otherwise. I mean, you're an athlete as well, and I know at that level, we're in, you know, the upper echelon. I get it, but listening and being out there are two different things.
And to your point, I do think it would be beneficial for some of the younger guys here on the team to see his presence, and maybe some of the younger quarterbacks to have him right there with them, kind of talking them through plays, formations, what they saw on that play. Maybe that'll change here as Joe Burrow continues to rehab and the rehab becomes less. Maybe he'll start to come out here. But for the time being, yeah, he's inside right now just watching everything on film after they complete practice.
That sounds cool. Joe, get us some good behind-the-scenes stuff, and we'll see you just a little bit.